Hello guys, Nimesh here. So today's topic is AC analysis of BJT circuit and small signal amplifier lecture number 2. So let's begin. Now every amplifier has got basically two equivalent circuits, namely as DC equivalent circuit and AC equivalent circuit. Usually we have got the DC equivalent circuit for setting the operating point or quiescent point on basis of which your transistor behavior would be decided. So if the operating point is in the cutoff, it will work as an open switch. If it is in saturation, it will work as a closed switch. And if it is at the center in active region, it will be working as an amplifier. Now, when you are using as an amplifier or when you are giving an amplifier a AC input, then you require an AC equivalent circuit. So with respect to DC and AC equivalent circuit, we have got its two load lines. Okay, and that is with respect to AC, it would be AC load line, and with respect to DC, it would be DC load line. Now basically AC and DC load line are nothing but the behavior of the current passing through the transistor and the voltage across it. So you can also say that they are the nothing but the plotting of the output. Okay. So now we'll go with first DC load line. In the previous chapter, in brief, we have discussed the DC load line. So here just we will have some overview of it. Okay. So basically DC load line is the coordinates of the output terms that we have already discussed, and in amplifier circuit, or you can take as a common emitter amplifier circuit, Q point would be having an output coordinates, that is VCEQ and ICQ. Okay, so graph is nothing but IC versus VCE, but why we are writing this Q, this Q stands for the quiescent point, and quiescent point, when we write this VCEQ and ICQ, we should understand that they are the coordinates for the DC load line. So this Q stands for the, or it hints us regarding the DC load line, and it is also written that the Q point VCEQ and ICQ with DC supply and no AC input is given. So at present we have no AC input. Okay, and we have just got the DC supply, means we are at present biasing the transistor and getting it to its operating point into an active region. Okay, so on the basis of this point of the transistor, working is decided. Okay, so as we know that the working is switch closed, the Q point would be in saturation, switch open, it would be in cutoff region, and if it is an active region, means this coordinates. So if VCQ and ICQ coordinates are lying in saturation region, the switch would be closed or the transistor would be used as a switch close. Similarly, if these coordinates are lying in a cutoff region, it would be behaving as an open switch, and if it lies in an active region, it will behave as an amplifier. Okay, now how we are selecting the Q point? Now we are emphasizing on amplifier more compared to switching here. Okay, so the criteria of the selecting Q point to operate a transistor in an amplifier mode, basically two main important things are to be considered. Though we are getting the point in active region, okay, but the Q point shouldn't be too close to the cutoff region first. Similarly, it shouldn't be too close to the saturation region also. Means though we are selecting the active region, the borders of the active regions are one towards the cutoff region, that is at the bottom. So if we consider, this is our graph. Okay, and if we are plotting out here, if we are plotting out there, this is VCE. Okay, and this is for example IC. So here is some point. Okay, so this is the your saturation region, this is the cutoff, and this is active. So I am talking about this point. Okay, so this point or this point and this point are actually lying in active region, because this entire is an active region only, but one point is near to, you can say that this is saturation and this is cutoff. So one point is near to saturation and another point is near to cutoff. We will not choose our operating point near to the saturation or near to the cutoff region. These two things has to be kept into mind when we are using your transistor as an amplifier. Okay, we'll figure it out why we should keep these two things in mind We will have the justification for that also, but at present we just are concluding this thing. Okay, so if above two conditions are satisfied, then we will get distortion less amplified output. Okay, so let's first understand what is the output and how it is working. So now once we are given the biasing points, okay, so this procedure is of selecting the Q point means your transistor has been set in an amplifying mode, and after that you are given the AC input signal. So when your AC input signal is given to this selected point, which is almost at the center of your load line, at that point you will not have any distortion. Now why this means, you can see that now the Q point should be exactly at the center of the DC load line. So the variation of the amplified output signal is equal to the input. And the coordinates of the Q point are VCEQ and ICQ. Okay. So let's understand first. Now this is the graph. Okay. In this graph, first we have got this load line. Okay. So you can say that this is your load line. And you have got VCE versus IC. Okay. Now in this Q coordinate, we are talking about this Q coordinate. This Q coordinate is nothing but the Q-shunt point. Okay. So again, this is a DC value. So with respect to that, we will have one DC value that is shown out here. Okay. This DC value is IBQ. Second DC value would be ICQ, and third DC value that would be VCEQ. So this all DC value are given out here. You can see that. So when you are setting the point, so ICQ value is 3 milliampere and VCQ value is 6 volt. So this is our fix. Okay, so this was our Q-shunt point, and with respect to this, for and this two, ICQ and VCEQ are for the fixed base current, that is nothing but IBQ is 30 milliampere. Okay, but now we all know that whenever, now this we have set the transistor, now we are giving the AC input. Okay, so when we are getting the AC input for this AC sinusoidal signal, what would be the DC value for IC AC signal? The value would be ICQ would be the new DC level. Okay, so it would be not 0, it would be new DC level, and that DC level would be nothing but your 3 milliampere. Okay, so now this is the new DC level for IC. Okay, and IC is nothing but will stand for now AC signal. Similarly for VCEQ, this 6 volt is new DC value, and similarly for IBQ, the DC value is 30 microampere. So now this AC signal, as it is sinusoidal signal, it will vary from this DC value to the up and down position that we already discussed in the previous lecture. So if you are taking first IB, so here it would be the IBQ, that is 30 microampere, and it is varying up and down. Okay, and how much it is varying, we have shown out here. It is nothing but this 40 and this is 20. So we are just extending it. This is 40 and this is 20. Okay, so now what is happening, this entire varies between 40 to 20. Okay, so now as IB is varying, similarly our IC is also varying. Now IC is varying, see this is our DC level, it is varying between 4 to 2. Okay, similarly our DC value is also varying. So what is happening, we are getting everything as it is. You can literally see that whatever the base current is there, that is obviously in microampere, and the collector current that you are getting in the milliampere. So definitely it is getting amplified. Okay, so you can see that no signal is ever distorted at present. Okay, so now what is the amplification process and how it is working? So due to the input signal, base current varies sinusoidally above and below IBQ. So this we have already discussed this point. Okay, it is varying above and below IBQs. And what is the variation? That is maximum and minimum. Maximum is of 40 and minimum is 20. So overall variation would be of 20 microampere. Okay, so now the operating point will move along the load line of the Q to R, and then R to S. So this would be the variation. Hence, due to this, the collector current also changes above and below the ICQ. So now this collector current, that is also an AC, and it will vary definitely above and below the ICQ. Okay, so this is basically the amplification process. Okay, so in that we have got the IB value, and on that basis we have got the IC, and you can literally say that it is in micro and this is in milliampere. Okay, so this is basically your amplification process. Now we will understand what is the effects of Q point position. Okay, so we have already discussed the 2 points, that it should not be near to your cutoff region. Okay, it should be near the cutoff region, nor it should be near the saturation region. The first we are discussing about the cutoff region. So you can see that this Q point, okay, this Q point is in cutoff region. Okay, so now along with this Q point, this would be the RNS value. Okay, so it will again vary. Now you can see that IB is varying overall how much, 20 microampere, that we have already calculated. Okay, so in this point we have already calculated this. So it will vary 20 microampere. With that same magnitude, your IC will also vary. But the problem is when you extend these points, okay, now problem is what is happening, your IC value this much part, okay, you can see that this much part is actually distorted, means you are not getting, so your IC you are not getting full. Similarly, when you are considering the voltage which is not in phase with the IB, its positive half cycle is clipped off. It is literally shown out here. So you can compare that. Here you are getting entire both cycles, but here because of just selection of the Q point in the cutoff region, what is happening, your voltage, that is VCE, positive half cycle is clipped, and IC negative half cycle is clipped. So actually these two are the outputs. Okay, these two are your outputs, and your output is distorted just by selecting near it. Okay, so similarly, if we are taking too close near the saturation region, so when we are taking the too close to saturation region, again same thing would be the problem. It will vary between the R and S. So it is varying with respect to that, your this IC will also vary. So when you extend this 2 points, okay, when you extend this point, now what happens, IC negative half cycle you are getting full, but there is a distortion in the positive half cycle. So similarly, here in voltage, what will be having, VCE voltage waveform, the negative half cycle would be clipped off and you are getting the positive half cycle. But your ultimate task is not to clip off, your job is not to clip it off, but you require the amplification of it. Okay, so in amplification you require both half cycles. Okay, but what is happening, just if you are selecting in the middle, you can literally see that you are getting the perfect outputs. This is this one and this one, okay, without any distortion. But if you are taking near to the cutoff, what is happening, the voltage positive half cycle is clipped off, and in current your negative half cycle is clipped off. Okay, similarly, when you are taking near the saturation region, at that point your voltage negative half cycle is clipped off and your IC positive half cycle is clipped off. That is the only reason we tend to take the Q point at the center of the DC load line. Now this was all story about the